One of the worst winter storms of the 21st century is about to hit parts of Southern California. We'll show you where.
Beware of using ChatGPT for your class assignments. An expert explains why you might be caught.
We're here live at the Annenberg Hall patio where books are literally coming to life. Stick with us as we explore the first of its kind USC Human Library.
Annenberg TV News is next.
Up to 7 feet of snow could fall in the local mountains over the next few days. Hi, I'm Ethan Huang.
I'm Rachel Hallett. We're facing what appears to be the first blizzard warning since 1989. Our weather reporter, Shelley Rader, has more.
Forecasters are predicting a powerful storm which will start in California and sweep across 22 states this week, bringing cold temperatures, winds, and even snow, get this, in the valley areas of LA. People are struggling to walk with intense wind and winter weather. One man in Arizona can barely keep his eyes open on his morning walk. As the storm builds, Angelinos can expect harsher blizzard conditions in some areas from Ventura to the local mountains. One meteorologist tells us more.
We haven't had a storm this cold in a long time. We issued a blizzard warning for the first time in our at least recorded history for our office that we can look at. Anyone thinking about going to the mountains, it's definitely not a time to go. We have winter storm warnings and even a blizzard warning out for the mountains. Could get a lot of snow, so expect a lot of road closures.
Forecasters said we can expect waves up to 12 feet, so surfers should stay out of the water. That's it for weather. Back to you, Ethan.
Vladimir Putin announced Russia's suspension of the New START treaty with the U.S. in his recent State of the Nation and threatened to restart nuclear weapons testing. The treaty limits the number of strategic nuclear weapons each nation can have and allows for regular inspections of them. We spoke to USC professor Robert English about what this means for nuclear non-proliferation efforts and the threat of war.
We are increasingly willing to threaten nuclear war to get what we want in the short run. Then that raises the risk of overreaction. It raises the risk of accident or misunderstanding. Now we have the possibility that those who have stayed on the sidelines and not proliferated, rethinking their security because of this arms race. Everybody wants nuclear weapons as a deterrent.
U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken has called Russia's move really unfortunate and very irresponsible, while NATO is urging Russia to reconsider its decision.
The man convicted of killing rapper Nipsey Hussle was sentenced today to 60 years to life in prison. A jury found Eric Holder Jr. guilty last July. Holder shot the hip-hop artist in 2019 outside Hussle's clothing store in South LA. Prosecutors say Holder approached Hussle over allegations that Hussle had called Holder a snitch. The musician had made a name for himself after successful collaborations with artists like Drake and Kendrick Lamar. He was 33 and a father of 2.
The Supreme Court heard the second of 2 cases today that could change the policy of free speech on the internet. At issue is Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act, which says, quote, "No provider or user of an interactive computer service shall be treated as the publisher or speaker of any information provided by another information content provider." In today's hearing, justices heard arguments about whether tech companies are liable for what users post on their platforms. Currently, sites like Facebook and Twitter can't be sued if a user makes a defamatory post or spreads misinformation. We spoke to professors and activists about the impact if Section 230 is changed.
The key benefit we as internet users get from Section 230 is that people will publish our stuff without having to review it and send it through legal review first.
There'd be an awful lot of lawsuits, an awful lot of liability. It would force the internet companies to really police what goes on the internet so there'd be much less access.
It would destroy the web as we know it. Is that a bad thing? Well, not necessarily. It would mean that there would be a lot more care given before things are republished. It would mean that there's a lot of looking over the types of things that are posted and whether or not those should be taken down because they're improper for some reason.
Critics say that if Section 230 is revised, it would let companies censor any and all activity on their platforms. The Supreme Court has not yet made a final decision.
More and more universities are joining the trend of banning TikTok on campus. How would you feel if the app was blocked at USC? 17 campuses, 11 of which are in the South, have implemented some sort of ban on TikTok. Among them are the University of Texas and the University of Florida. The U.S. government has already passed a bill banning the app on all government devices. More than 30 states have issued varying TikTok bans out of fear that the app's parent company, the Chinese-owned ByteDance, is harvesting user data and selling it to the Chinese government. California has little indication of implementing a ban, but what if it were? USC students weighed in.
And I don't think that completely banning the app really does anything, and it kind of feels more like the university is trying to regain like a sense of control over the students. There's definitely better alternatives that could be put in place.
I also understand the reasoning behind banning it. Like if information is getting leaked or sold, then that's kind of confidential and they should probably ban it.
Despite the TikTok bans, the New York Times reports that Gen Z uses TikTok as a search engine more often than Google.
The AI chat GPT is not going anywhere, but many professors are concerned about cheating and plagiarism. Reporter Bailey Harrison shows us how some faculty say it could also be used as an effective learning tool.
ChatGPT is a hot topic on college campuses. The popular chatbot, created by OpenAI, can be used to generate everything from academic essays to poems. USC students are very familiar with it.
So I've definitely used it, to write some outlines for some essays, stuff like that. Maybe to summarize some text when I'm reading as well. Really useful tool, honestly. Really kind of helped me power through.
Ever since the chatbot launched in November, educators have raised concerns about cheating and misinformation, but some view the chatbot as a learning tool.
Like any other tool, there are pros and cons, right? Talked about Wikipedia, when that came out, and professors were horrified that don't use it. It's not a true source. But I would tell my students, look, you're going to go there, go look at it. Look at what they have cited and go look up those articles and use those as your sources. It's just a starting point, right?
Although the chatbot helps students conquer writer's block and brainstorm ideas, it is flawed. It has limited knowledge on anything after 2021, and it was originally created for dialogue. I even asked it to help me write a new script on the impact of ChatGPT on higher education, and here's what it came up with. Hello everyone, today we will be discussing how ChatGPT, a large language model, has impacted higher education. It not only gave me an intro and conclusion, but also a body paragraph summarizing the ways that it impacts higher education. It's now a matter of ethics and when it's appropriate to use.
The choice of words comes from your background and what you've read, what you've been exposed to. Language is not the same as math. So having something that acts kind of as a calculator for language really strips out a lot of that personality. It was not optimized for accuracy. It was not optimized for good writing.
Universities may find themselves adapting to new ways of teaching by implementing ChatGPT in the classroom. For Annenberg Media, I'm Bailey Harrison.
Talk about students using ChatGPT. It turns out some university officials are just as dependent on the AI tool. Vanderbilt University apologized this week to its students for using the software to write an email about the recent mass shooting at Michigan State University.
California community college students may soon be able to get guaranteed admission at UCLA, thanks to a new support for Governor Gavin Newsom's proposal. This proposal would allocate $20 million in general funds to establish a transfer agreement with UCLA. If passed, the school would be the 7th out of the 9 UCs to adopt this program. But legislative analysts say this proposal may not be extensive enough.
UCLA has shown year after year that they are exceptionally good at retaining and graduating their transfer students. There's currently 2 other institutions on top of UCLA that do not participate in these programs. That's Cal Berkeley and San Diego. So it was our recommendation that if the governor did want to move forward with this type of proposal, it should be something that's done at a system-wide level and takes into account the needs of the UC as a whole.
If passed, the program could go into effect in 2025. To To participate, students must meet certain course and grade requirements at their community college.
Molly or MDMA could potentially be approved by the FDA as a psychedelic drug. Find out who this is meant to help.
It's Ash Wednesday. We talk to students about what spirituality and religion mean to them.
A study from USC reveals new health effects of vaping. We'll have the study results coming up.
Worried your friend's struggling but don't know how to reach out?
You could say, how are you, or get a fake tattoo. You could ask with an app if it works for you. You could write them a text or knit them a sweater. If you can't be together, you could write them a letter. Whatever gets you talking. Whatever gets you talking. You could chat on the game, kick off your flip-flops. You could ask on your couch while you binge watch. However you do it, you gotta ask a friend. And if they don't share, you can ask again. Whatever gets you talking. Whatever gets you talking.
There are a lot of ways to reach out to a friend about their mental health. Learn how you can help at seizetheawkward.org.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. All right, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight. Both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand, trying to text somebody back. Because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
A USC Keck study has found that long-term vapers experience similar health issues as tobacco smokers. The cells examined from the mouths of vapers and cigarette smokers were shown to have comparable levels of life-threatening disease. Researchers found that DNA damage was higher among people who vaped or smoked as opposed to non-users.
For example, a DNA damage, if it's not repaired by our cells, can translate into mutation. And if this mutation take place in specific genes that are functionally important, for example, genes that control growth and development, they can cause tumors.
Californians recently voted to ban flavored nicotine products with Prop 31 in an effort to curb high rates of vaping among young people in the state.
It's known as a party drug, but researchers have found that MDMA can help treat post-traumatic stress disorder. Popularly known as Molly or ecstasy, the drug causes side effects such as nausea, muscle cramping, involuntary teeth clenching, blurred vision, chills, and sweating. We spoke to the lead author of the 2021 Phase 3 MDMA trial.
Know that MDMA impacts the way that memories are retrieved and then reconsolidated in a part of the brain called the amygdala. And this probably allows those memories to be better processed and then released. Participants in the studies tell us is that they're able to approach and discuss memories, traumatic memories and events without feeling overwhelmed by shame and fear and shutting down.
About 6 out of every 100 people in the U.S. suffer from PTSD at some point in their lives. The drug could be approved by the FDA as soon as next year. Ash Wednesday is being celebrated by Christians around the world. The holy day marks the start of Lent. Our reporter Ali Anthony spoke to students and leaders about Gen Z's scope of religion.
At the Caruso Catholic Center and Alumni Park today, students, faculty, and staff gathered to mark the beginning of Lent.
This season really is about returning back to God. Lent is a beautiful season. It's a penitent season, but it's also a joyful season because it leads us to Easter.
Some believers choose to sacrifice something for 6 weeks and in turn use the opportunity to strengthen their faith.
I'll be giving up social media. Don't catch me on my socials this Lent.
I typically give up bread for Lent. I'm such a big bread person, bagels, toast, you name it.
I'm giving up red meat, bread, and sweets.
If you've been on campus today, you've probably seen many USC students observing Ash Wednesday. But the reality is that Gen Z has fewer Catholics and Christians than any other group. I spoke to a dean at the Office of Religious and Spiritual Life, and he told me that nearly 50% of USC students do not affiliate with religion at all.
More and more young people talk about how they are spiritual as opposed to religious, or more spiritual than religious. So 51% of our incoming students are not affiliated with religion, but 70% of them will tell you that they are spiritual.
Some students have also recognized that Gen Z is redefining faith constructs.
If you believe in something and you're passionate about it and it gives you purpose and you feel comfortable with it, you should not shy away from it.
My family is not religious at all. They're really spiritual though. And I think I've like emulated that.
Gen Z's connection to religion is uncertain, but Dean Soni thinks it's essential to believe in something higher than yourself. For Annenberg Media, I'm Allie Anthony.
There is a Mass currently being held at the Caruso Catholic Center, and there will be another service tonight at 7:30.
Now we're going to toss it over to our reporter, Vincent. He's going to tell us about a human library. Vincent, what have we got going on over there?
Well, Rachel, you know the phrase, don't judge a book by its cover. Well, for the Annenberg Cross-Cultural Student Association, they're taking that phrase literally to the next level. I'm here live at the Wallace Annenberg Alumni Patio for the first of its kind USC Human Library event occurring now until 6 p.m. tonight. The event organizers are hoping to promote active listening as well as good conversation between students. Walking in, participants scan a QR code and choose between being a reader or a book. The reader can choose the book they want to read by having conversation. Through this event, student organizers hope to bring together students and challenge stereotypes. Well, we're here live, joined with the two organizers of the event, Skylar Pack and Sophia Hahn. So first off, thank you so much, guys, for being interviewed with us today. So to just kind of start off, we know that, the term human library is somewhat of a new one for most of our viewers and for most people. So can you just kind of describe what exactly is a human library?
So yeah, the idea of a human library, it's this kind of event that instead of reading books, you're reading people. And by reading, it means engaging in conversations with them. So we think this is a very unique format to get people to have deep and meaningful discourse and getting them to know about each other better and get rid of your prejudice or biases you have about one another.
And what would you say is kind of your mission for this event? Like when you were coming into it, what do you think you want your participants as well as yourselves to kind of take away from this?
We're hoping to encourage people to share stories that they typically wouldn't share on a daily basis with their peers in classes, and to bring people together from all majors and walks of life, to provide a safe space for everyone, because that's what our organization tries to do as a whole.
And then kind of, final question, this is kind of a new kind of event and things like that. So what kind of inspired you to do this human library to begin with?
Oh, so the idea was initially proposed by one of our members, and when we were discussing what kind of event can we host as a cross-cultural student organization, she mentioned this sort of format that she saw from other places. So this is a project that's actually been going on globally in other universities, schools, places, but we never did something like this in the USC campus. So we think as a cross-cultural student organization, it's a very good idea for us to bring that sort of idea into the campus and get students to know each other better.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for being interviewed today, guys. Stay warm out there for sure. And it sure is a chilly one out here today, but the students behind me are definitely having good conversation and a good time with this brand new event. And hopefully there are more human libraries to come in future years here at USC. For Annenberg Media, I'm Vincent DeMonte. Now back to you in the studio.
Tonight, we're seeing temperatures fall into the 50s and also moderate wind speeds at 15 miles per hour. Let's look to the 5-day forecast, which might literally send a chill down your spine. Tomorrow, we can expect highs of 54 degrees with a 50% chance of rain. Friday and Saturday, though, get your umbrellas out because there is a 100% chance of showers on both days. Sundays, highs will be around 57 degrees and the rainy conditions might halt. Monday, rain is back with a 50% chance of precipitation. If you're a rain lover, this is your week in LA. If not, Grab a cup of hot chocolate, turn on your fireplace, and get ready to cozy up indoors.
USC men's basketball takes to the slopes as they try and skate past tough competition in the Rockies. After a quick dip in the bay, can USC return to its winning way? After the Anteaters trample the Trojans, can USC bring disaster to the pasture? All that and more coming up next on Sports.
Leaving hot coals improperly extinguished can cause a wildfire.
Hey guys, it's Smokey!
It looks as if Smokey is going to use the drown, stir, drown and feel technique. After the first drown, a good start. Next, another drink. And finally, a close feel.
Is it cool? Okay. Yeah. Hey Smokey, catch!
Oh, my bad, Smokey.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
When I was your age, I was just like you, fascinated by stars. But now I get to search for life in the universe. And who knows, maybe life is looking for us too.
So we're like aliens to them?
Yeah. Does anyone want to be a scientist now?
I do.
Awesome. We need more girls in STEM.
Maybe we can find aliens.
I'll never forget the day our landlord called and said, read your lease. No pets allowed. My owner tells him my dog ate the lease, but that didn't work. And now I'm stuck in a shelter. But this pit bull is ready for a new crib. I'm loving, loyal, and play well with others. So don't be intimidated by all my muscles, because the biggest one I have is my heart. That's right, I said it.
Welcome back to ATVN Sports. I'm MJ Newsom.
And I'm Marissa Rio. The USC men's basketball team boosted their resume with 2 wins at home last week. The team is now on the road against Colorado and Utah. USC is off to Boulder tomorrow to face the Buffaloes at 9 p.m. Colorado is 11-2 when playing at home. The team is scoring over 70 a game, with most of its points coming from junior forward Tristan Da Silva. Da Silva boasts an impressive 51.6 shooting from the field and just over 41% from beyond the arc. He's averaging about 16 points per game. The men of Troy are then off to face the Utes on Saturday at 8 p.m. Utah poses another challenge, posting a 12-3 record at home this season. Senior center Brendan Carlson leads the team with 16.4 points and 7.4 rebounds a game. He shoots 52.2% from the field and 35.3% from deep. So MJ, how did the Trojans get a sweep on the road this weekend?
Well, Marissa, it's going to start on offense with Boogie Ellis. He commands 17 points a game, and in the biggest games of the season, he's been the catalyst for those wins. Had 31 points against UCLA. Right next to him is Drew Peterson. Has about 14 points a game as well, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, the leading rebounder among guards in the Pac-12, and then, of course, defensively, Kobe Johnson, by far the best defender on this USC squad.
Yeah, and for Colorado, they really just need to stop Da Silva, because once he's shut down, the team can't perform. And then for Utah, they can just play the same way they did last time against the team. They kept Utah to 34% shooting from the field and 8 of 25 from deep. So if they do that again, they'll get the wins.
Absolutely. So from men's basketball to women's basketball, USC women's basketball suffered a setback last weekend with 2 losses after they landed a top 25 spot for the first time since 2016. After losing a tough one to top-ranked Stanford last Friday, the Trojans laid an egg against a sub-500 squad in Cal on Sunday, a team they had previously beaten by 20. After failing to solidify an NCAA tournament bid last weekend, USC closes out the season at home against Washington on Thursday, followed by Washington State on Saturday. So, Marissa.
USC baseball went back and forth with UC Irvine last night before ultimately falling 8-7. Carson Wells put USC on the board early, hitting the first home run of his career. After the solo shot in the first, the lead changed hands 4 times. A Bryce Martin Grudzelenik 3-run double in the 5th gave USC the lead in the 5th. In the top of the 8th, Chase Call hit a solo homer, and then a 2-run double by Caden Kendall put UCI up for good. USC faces Auburn next in a series that was originally scheduled at home for the Trojans. Last night, the team tweeted, quote, "Due to heavy rain and the forecast for Los Angeles, this weekend series against Auburn will now be played on the road." This will be USC's first road trip of the season and the first series away from home for first-year head coach Andy Stankiewicz. The series' first pitch is scheduled for Friday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
The reigning back-to-back national champions open up the season this Friday with home matches against Grand Canyon and Long Beach State. The beach volleyball team defeated Florida State in last year's national championship, capping off a 37-1 season, the lone loss coming to rival UCLA. Their 4 national championships, the most in the NCAA. Juniors Delaney Maple and Megan Kraft look to lead USC this season in its quest for a three-peat, a feat no team has ever accomplished. And that's all we have for ATVN Sports. I'm MJ Newsom.
And I'm Marissa Rio. Now tossing it over to Rachel for more news.
A new food app will help people explore local restaurants.
Lávate las manos por 20 segundos como Elmo.
Hay algo especial acerca de este lugar. Se siente como un hogar, una sala debajo del cielo y los árboles. Rodeado de aire fresco y la naturaleza. Todo aquí para que lo disfrutemos y para que lo cuidemos. Tenemos la responsabilidad de cuidar de esta tierra que llamamos casa, de preservarla para las generaciones que vienen. Cada acción pequeña contribuye para un cambio mayor y cada uno de nosotros podemos hacer la diferencia. Hay algo especial acerca de este bosque. Es un lugar donde se hacen recuerdos y juntos podemos preservarla y protegerla.
Calling all foodies, what if there was a social media app that could recommend great local restaurants catered to your personal taste? Let's hear from Ingrid about a USC student making that vision a reality.
Thanks, Ethan. Today is an exciting day for USC junior Jake Sachs. His app Hunger, spelled HNGR, launches its beta test, which is a trial run before the app is officially launched. Users on the app upload a photo of their food, a video of the ambiance, and their review of the restaurant. Then an algorithm curates a page of recommendations for you to scroll through. No chains, just cool local spots.
Growing up, I would always just go to small little taco trucks and hole in the walls. And I'm from Metro Oregon. I'm from a small little town. And then I moved to Seattle and then here, and I found that finding those spots was like impossible. I'd always just call a friend and ask them for a recommendation. So I was like, there's all these people with recommendations to give and no platform for them to post and unite them with people that are looking to find these cool spots. So I created it with Hunger.
The Hunger app will likely launch by May. Coming from out of state myself, I cannot wait to start finding the best pizza joints and coffee shops that LA has to offer.
Well, I'll be sure to check that out.
Definitely. Oh, I need to find some new favorite spots around here. Well, thank you so much for watching Annenberg TV News. From everyone at Annenberg Media, I'm Rachel Hallett.
And I'm Ethan Huang. For more coverage, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Annenberg Media. Good night.